my friend was like, why are you meeting all these crazy women from?
Okay, see there?
What's
Tell us
wrong?
about the crazy women.
Ooh. Nope, because when you talk about things, you bring them, they pop up. I can walk out of here, somebody like, hey, girl! And I'm like, oh, jeez. Yeah. It's like Candyman. You can't, don't, Nope. I'm not talking about.
Right.
Nope.
This episode of IMO is brought to you by Progressive Insurance.
How are you?
I am good. Gosh, I'm so ready for like real summer to happen.
I know.
We never know when these things are going to air, but as our taping, it's still spring and it's not warm enough.
But we're in LA, so it's warm enough for me. It's a whole different kind of temperature than
What's
Wisconsin.
going on in Milwaukee? Is it snowing?
No, it's not snowing. It's not snowing, but it is not as warm as it is here.
So you 40s, still got coats out?
40s, 50s. Yeah, coats, sweatshirts. We're probably at the sweatshirt stage now. As soon as it hits 50, everybody's
going to be in flip-flops and, they're going to the pool.
That's right.
You go into the pool. That was always the crazy thing about Chicago. It would be 30 below, and the minute it hit like 37, people were like, open the window.
Yes.
Woo! It's summertime.
Oh, my gosh.
We're just victims of the cold.
I know. Well, every time I come to LA, I'm like, why don't we live here?
I know.
Why?
Well, yeah, why?
I know.
I guess
we got
it's kids. Two kids
still in high school. Once they get out, we are.
You two, hurry up. Finish your education. Free your father and your mother from the cold.
Those two. A lot of basketball.
Oh, my gosh.
Every weekend.
It just seems to be too much.
No, it's not. I'm really having fun coaching them.
Well, that's you. How are they? Are they enjoying you coaching them?
Well, Austin enjoys me coaching his
Your
team.
Oldest.
My 16-year-old.
Yes.
Is
the oldest of the youngest.
The oldest of the young crew.
Mm-hmm.
He enjoys me coaching.
Mm-hmm.
The younger one enjoys me coaching everybody but him. No, I'm just kidding. Aaron doesn't mind being coached, but he used to hate it when I coached him.
Is he getting better about being coached?
Yeah, he's much better. He's much better.
See, this is why I always take up for the youngest sibling. You just can't, you got to give him a minute to fit,
You do.
You got to give him some space to decide how he wants to order himself in the household with an older sibling.
Yeah, we
takes
laugh.
A minute.
We laugh because he is a reincarnation of you.
That's my boy.
He is
I
a
love
reincarnation
Austin, but Aaron's my boy because
you.
we're the youngest. It's like me, Aaron, Sasha. Leslie doesn't count. She's the youngest.
Girl.
She's the only girl, but she's the youngest of the oldest.
Yeah.
But she's a little old lady, so she doesn't count.
But Aaron, everybody's mood depends on Aaron's mood. Just like you.
As it should be.
Wake up. If he's grumpy, the whole house is grumpy. If he's happy, we're all happy.
Well, then you should just make him happy.
Okay. Yeah, you sound like grandma. All right, let's get down to business.
Yes, we have one of my favorite people, even though she talks about me. That's White House Correspondents thing. We're going to have a conversation about that.
Well, I got to tell you, you and I both saw Legacy.
Yes,
and
Wanda Sykes' new Netflix special.
It's so good. And it's so good that when this is my first time meeting Wanda, I see her and I'm like, start giggling when I'm looking at her because I'm thinking about Legacy cracking me up.
Uh-huh. Well, let's do a proper introduction.
Okay.
Get her out here.
Well, Wanda Sykes is an Emmy-winning stand-up comic, writer, actress, and producer who has been entertaining audiences for over 20 years.
No.
Can you believe that? 20 years.
That's a long time.
Her new Netflix special is called Legacy, which you and I saw, and we cannot wait to talk to her about all things Wanda. Please welcome Wanda Sykes.
There she go. Welcome to IMO.
How are you?
All right.
Oh, that's okay.
Come on in.
That's what happens.
Take a
They're just
seat.
in the way.
See, Wanda, you're such a little bitty person. You
She
just slid in
right
there.
in.
It's like,
She slid right in.
how you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you. Thanks for having me
that's
here.
so good.
This is
Okay.
Thanks for
awesome.
being here.
Let's just clear up this White House Correspondents
Okay, let's do that.
Dinner
Let's do that.
thing.
Let's do that.
So you claim that I was talking to you too much.
I didn't say too much, but you were a little chatty. You were chatty, madam. You were chatty. And
I was
you have
trying to be nice.
But you were incredibly nice, but you have to realize the situation.
Were you
read
nervous?
the room.
Right.
Yes.
Were you nervous?
Colin Powell was there. I mean,
It was-
it's
Yeah.
Well,
like a
just
huge room.
for our listeners and viewers, how many years ago was that, Wanda? You were the first female comic host for the White House Correspondents Dinner, which was what year was that?
2009.
That was
May
2009.
2009. Yeah.
Yeah,
I remember because our kids they just been born. They were like 12 days old.
Uh-huh.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So you were sleep deprived too.
A little bit.
Stay on top of it all.
A little bit. Yeah.
But the way it's set up in the hotel is that they've got the big dais with
Right.
all the fancy people up there, all the speakers, and then usually the host sits next to the first lady, which was me at the time.
yes.
And we go through a whole dinner, right?
Right.
I mean, that seems like
Yeah,
no fun.
They should have.
You know?
Yeah,
It's
I
like,
mean,
who's
yeah.
eating?
You can't have
Yeah,
you know?
I
right?
didn't. I don't even
Yeah.
think I touched my food.
So
I was
we-
going over my notes.
We
Yeah.
sat together the whole time and, everybody's looking at you. So I'm thinking, well, I should talk to Wanda a little bit. Just be like, hey, girl, how you doing? And how are your kids? And
Uh-huh.
well, come to find out,
I was focused.
you were focused.
It was a lot. I mean, it was a big
was a lot.
deal. And then, the first term, your first term and President Obama and just, and we're black,
Yeah.
It's like none of us can mess up.
Yeah. What is she thinking?
Yeah, I'm gay. And I'm like, I'm like, they did vet me, right? So I'm just sitting here waiting for
like,
somebody
right.
to tap me on the shoulder, like, and then walks Whoopi Goldberg or something, So I'm like, any minute now, like, my brother's out there. I'm like, I'm still here.
It's still happening. They
It's still
haven't
happening.
dragged
So
me
yeah,
up.
I was just really focused, because I wanted to do a great job, and I was just looking over my notes,
Mhm.
and I was just running my show through the head, in my head,
Mhm.
and you just kept making conversation, which
Yeah,
was so sweet. It was so sweet, but I was just like,
kept
not right
interrupting.
now. That's
Right,
what I
just
want.
give me a second. Trying to figure this out.
I think I actually went, at one point. I was like,
And I don't even know who was on the other side of me, but I think I had to turn around and keep him company, whoever it was. But
it was
yeah.
I forgot which reporter it was.
You were
It's
like, phew,
she don't
want to
talk to
Yeah.
me. Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, let's talk about your new Netflix special, Legacy.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
you recorded it at your alma mater, Hampton.
Yes.
That's great. What
Yes.
made you decide to record at Hampton?
I wanted to do something big. I wanted this one to be really special.
Okay.
And I played different cities, and I said, well, what's the place? What says a lot about me, and would be challenging for me. And my producing partner, Paige Hurwitz, she's like, you should go back to your school.
Mm.
And I was like, I don't know about that,
Mm.
Yeah.
And I thought about it, and I was like, you know what? It totally makes sense to go there. For one, I want to give back to the school.
Okay.
I think it'd be a great, and it was an incredible experience for the school and the students, because we put a lot of the students to work.
Yeah. Sure.
And also I'm very proud of being an alumnus from Hampton, and so I wanted to put some light on the school and HBCUs,
Yeah.
because
Sure.
HBCUs are under such attack right now.
Mhm.
And also when I look at my audience, I'm blessed to have a very diverse audience, but it's probably more 65, 35, more 65, like white people. White people love me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I wanted to take my audience and bring them to my school to let them see that, hey, this is where I'm from. This is what made me. And also for Hampton to see, hey, I'm still
forgotten.
Here. Yeah, exactly.
That's right. That's right.
What's important to me.
Now, how long does it take you to prepare the program for it? Is it
years?
Like,
I try. I tour with the material for at least 2 years.
Wow.
At least 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this was probably 3 years. Yeah. Yeah, because it's always changing, and put that in, take that out. Always writing new things. So yeah, it takes I can't do it like I can't turn it on that fast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
man, what a freaking gift. I mean, were you always a wonderful storyteller? I mean, when you were growing up in Virginia, were you a funny little kid? Were you more of a storyteller? Were you quiet, shy? Where does this part of yourself come from?
My parents, great storytellers.
Yeah.
I grew up around my grandmothers. They're great storytellers. I talked too much when I was a kid. I was very talkative, and I got in trouble a lot. Like when my parents were having company over, they would send me off to my grandparents because they had no idea what I was going to say. My grandmother's friend, I told her she had horse teeth. Because she would laugh. She's like, ah! And I was just looking at and they all knew when I was going to say something come out. Because they said I would make this face like, and they were like, oh God, here it comes. Here it comes. And
well, it was just the beginning of observational comedy.
I think so. I had the setup, but no joke.
Right.
So you just said exactly what you saw.
This woman's wig was crooked, and I was like, "Where's your part over here?" It's like it was just embarrassing. It was embarrassing for them. Then I would get in trouble. I would get.
So what did trouble look like?
A spanking.
Did you get snatched up? Little pop in the mouth?
Go get a switch. Go get a switch.
Did you behave in school?
Yes. Oh, I had to. Yeah. Yeah. You don't mess up at school.
Yeah.
No. Mm-mm.
And both of your folks were military, or were you
just my dad?
Just your dad?
My dad was in the Army.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Was he like that military dad, or
no? You know what? It was cool because he didn't want us to live on base either. We lived off base. It was also to give him a break too.
Yeah.
So he would come home and take the uniform off and just be, dad. He was. I mean, a black man, so there was rules and everything. Just on GP.
Well,
but
I was noticing now both of your parents went to college.
No, my dad did.
Your dad did. Okay.
My mom did. Yeah.
But your mom worked?
Yes.
So
she worked at a bank.
Yeah.
But she started off in working at a newspaper.
Okay.
The Virginia Pilot. I think she was doing ad sales.
Were they either of them naturally funny or?
Yes. Yeah. Both my parents are funny. Yeah. Very funny. And they were really good mimics. Like if they would tell a story or whatever, somebody in church, they would go into character. And they were really good at that. Yeah. So I mean, maybe that's where I picked some of it up from.
Yeah.
Because they would do that.
And did you write as a kid?
I did. I remember there was like a Smokey the Bear contest or whatever, and you had to write a story. And I did. I won a prize. I think I was in like first grade or something.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Yeah. I'm just remember that.
Now
I'm like,
we're figuring it out.
I'm putting it together now.
It starts out like, I don't know why I'm funny. I don't know how I got here. And it's like, we'll find out. I won 12 competitions when I was, I think I was really
Come
smart.
to think of it, yeah.
And my whole household was funny. Everybody was just cracking me up.
He was cracking up.
Right.
It was my Uncle Richard Pryor. I don't remember. No.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance, a company committed to helping people move forward and live fully. So, Mish, you've lived in so many places.
Mm-hmm.
At what point, living somewhere new, do you think it really starts to feel like home?
I think it's, for me, it's when routines are in place.
Mm-hmm.
Kids are settled, although our kids are grown now, but when we were moving, they were little.
Mm-hmm.
When they felt settled in a new school and they started making friends and life started to feel more routine, that's when it starts to feel like home.
Well, I don't really feel settled somewhere until I've tried every single local sandwich shop and know exactly which one is my new favorite. When you moved to your new place, whether it was in New Jersey or DC, was there anything that you immediately did to make you feel settled or comfortable?
Well, I think it's, getting our items in place. I mean, I'm a traveler who likes to unpack completely.
Same. Yeah.
Like I don't feel settled not just at home or on vacation until every item is unpacked and put in drawers so that it feels like, I'm not living out of suitcases. And the same is true when we were moving as a family. When you're living out of boxes, when you don't, feel like you know how to access and get to your stuff right away, you feel like you're visiting. So once we get everything settled in, that's when I started to breathe a sigh of, we're here.
Now, going through the home buying process with no experience can be quite daunting, but Progressive is here to help make it all a bit more approachable. As part of their Open the House initiative, Progressive offers practical tools, educational resources, and guidance through their website to help people navigate the home buying process with more confidence. What's more, Progressive is also offering up to $13,500 each in down payment assistance to at least 200 eligible first-time homebuyers. This program, called the Up Payment, could be a game changer for homebuyers who need a little extra boost to help close that last gap. Want to learn more about the Up Payment program and Progressive's commitment to first-time homebuyers? Visit progressive.com/openthehouse, where homebuyers can discover more about housing challenges and access resources and support to empower them in their housing journey.
So was there a lot of discipline, or were your parents like the kind of parents that, when company wasn't around and you weren't embarrassing them, were they interested? I mean, were they encouraging of your voice and,
Oh, no. No.
No.
I remember my mother, I was outside playing with some friends and she yelled out the window, "Wanda." I said, "Yes, ma'am. Fix your voice." And I'm like, what does that mean? She's like, "You always, raise your voice. You can speak in a little higher, raise your voice." I was like,
what is going on?
So I'm like, what is that? What is she talking about? Fix your voice.
Yeah.
She wanted me to fix my voice. And now I get paid for having this voice.
Yeah.
Yes,
right.
It's a good voice. It's very distinctive.
Very.
Thank goodness you didn't listen.
Right.
What other stuff did they want you to do that you ignored?
Oh, boy. Probably not be gay, probably that,
Say, let's start there.
Why don't you get the guys another shot? Come on.
But you tried.
I tried.
You did.
You tried. You put the old college try in there. You had a whole husband.
A whole husband. I did.
And then you said, "Nah."
Is this working for you? It's not working for me.
When did you start being aware of yourself? And I'm not just talking about your sexuality, but aware of your uniqueness as a person.
I think when I was working at NSA, and so it's like, okay, I got my degree, I got good government job, security, and I just felt out of place. I was like, this is not what I'm supposed to be doing for the next 20 years, 20, 25 years. But I just was like, just searching, like, what is it that I'm supposed to do? And I remember, like in high school yearbook and all, everyone wrote how, you're so funny. You should, you need to be on stage. And in college, same thing. And I was like asking my sorority sisters, I was like, y'all think I'm funny? It's like, oh, girl, you would crack us up all the time. I was like, well, all right, maybe I'll,
Did you ever do theater or any kind of stand-up, or you were just the friend that was funny?
I was the friend that was funny. I did do some theater in
See, here
in
we
high
go.
school.
You about to remember something again.
In high school. But what did I do? I played the drums in one of the plays.
Really?
Yeah. And I didn't really have many lines, but I played drums in band. So, but I loved theater and loved hanging around, that group. But
what did you major in?
Marketing.
Marketing.
So when you were at the NSA and you were like, I'm not doing this for 20 years, what was the step you took? Or did you stay there a little longer and said, let me try this out while I'm working there? Or did you go cold turkey?
No, I stayed there until I was able to at least save up a nice little, lump sum, and then was able to play in clubs and like be the MC or the middle act, the feature act, and do that enough where I felt like I could, I could
you
survive.
did that while you were still at the NSA?
So what, did you look up comedy clubs and just go to one?
I knew that was coming. I knew that was coming.
Well, Wanda,
I got the yellow pages out.
That's what I'm saying.
See. Okay, no. That is not what happened.
So what happened? How did you get there?
I heard about a contest on the radio station, and comedy was one of the talent categories. So I wrote some jokes. I just sat at my little desk and wrote some jokes and went down and auditioned. The guy was like, yeah, you're on the show. And I, first time being on stage, no idea what I was doing, but I told my little jokes. People laughed, and I was like, oh, this is cool. And the MC, Andy Evans, he was, the popular guy in D.C., and he was like, who are you and where'd you come from? Like, I've never seen you in the clubs. I was like, I've never been to the clubs.
Government.
Yeah, exactly. So he showed me around.
And you hadn't gone to a comedy club before? Wow.
No.
How old were you when you went to did this first contest? Let
me see. That was in 87. So that would mean I was 20? Was I 24? 20?
Close enough. It requires math. I'm
not doing that.
Early 20s.
Okay. Early 20s.
Thank God.
And you just free-handed wrote those jokes without looking up joke writing. You're just like, this is a funny story. I'll do that.
I watched a lot of comedy.
Yeah.
I watched a lot of comedy growing up and loved, of course, Pryor and all that.
Yeah.
George Carlin and like my favorite as a kid was Mom's Mabley, Jackie Mom's Mabley. Yeah.
See,
you played those records.
I used to walk around and my mom told me that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
As a kid.
Yeah, as a kid. Because my grandma would make my grandmother laugh. So I would always. Yeah. So I would.
Did you have teeth or not when you?
I do.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, we had to go to our grandfather's house to hear Mom's Mabley because she cursed.
Yeah.
And my parents, we didn't have any Mom's Mabley records.
But we had Richard Pryor. We had.
But that was when we were older.
He was
that
cursing.
was when we were older.
Yeah.
So, all right. So you're at the comedy club. So you're doing this while you're still working.
Do you remember your first bit? What you talked about? I know I'm asking about memory. It'd be
I know, right?
I didn't really say much.
Take my ginkgo today. No, I remember one bit. It was about the auto shade, the big cardboard sunglasses.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Well, there's instructions on the side, and I was like, who needs these instructions? It tells you to remove the auto shade before driving. I'm like, You really, you shouldn't be driving if you need instructions. You know, like you going down the beltway, you see this car coming towards you with these with
like,
big ass sunglasses.
Right.
Like
he didn't read the instructions.
He didn't read the instructions.
So it was observational stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It wasn't until, man, like probably like I guess the IMO Be Me special. So that was like 2008 or whatever. A little before that, I think, is when I started to get like really personal, you know, and talk about myself.
Yeah. So after you won the contest, did life blow up?
I didn't win.
You didn't win. Oh, see, I just made that up.
I did not win, but close second. So I didn't win. I just started, you know, Andy took me around DC and visit the comedy clubs, and I was like, okay, this is what I want to do. And then I just bombed, like just ridiculous bomb, because now I'm exposed to it, and I see how it could go horribly wrong. Right? So you lose. So now, you know, you get nervous, and I was just full of confidence at first because I didn't know any better. So now that I was like, oh God, this is awful. You know? Yeah. I would just go up and just bomb.
So when do you get used to that process, right? Because that is but it has to be, right? Right. Because you don't know whether something is funny until you test it out. Right?
Exactly.
And it could be the order of what you said, and then you realize, oh, I left that part out. But so you have to get used to bombing.
Yes, you do. And it sucks. It really does. I mean, you lose sleep. You know, your food don't taste right. Just the sky's not as blue. It's horrible, and you don't get over it until you have a good show.
Yeah.
But now it's not as intense when a joke doesn't go well, because I have so many jokes that I know work. So, or you can laugh your way out of it, or So I'm okay with it. Yeah.
And then you're just so good now. It's Wanda's like, nah, I just don't bomb.
Yeah, I just don't. It
just
try not
doesn't
to do
happen.
That. Yeah, not a whole show. Yeah.
What was your first big break? You know, when you felt like, now I'm gonna quit my job. You went in and threw down your pink slip.
I quit. I didn't even quit. I asked. I went to the department head and asked for a leave of absence because I wanted to hold up to my health insurance. Right. So, and he was like, you know what? I'm going to give you a year. Go do it. That's if it works out, great. If not, come, we want you back here. Perfect. So I just started touring and hitting the clubs. And it all made sense. And then I got the Chris Rock show. I was a writer on the Chris Rock show.
That was the major thing.
Yeah, I think that was the real big break for me.
So how did that happen? Did he see you somewhere?
Yeah.
Was there?
I opened for him at Caroline's, and this is when he was preparing for Bring the Pain.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Man, you're funny. I'm gonna remember you."
Yeah.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
So when he got his talk show on HBO, I got a call and said, "Hey, Chris Rock wants you to submit some writing materials." So I'm like, "Sure." So I, wrote some stuff, sent it in, and got the job.
How did it feel being in a room of writers, going from you just, sitting at your desk to now you're at a table full of peers?
Well, luckily, a couple of them I was already friends with because they were stand-up comics.
Mm-hmm.
So I was the only woman too, the only female. Yeah. So it was nice to see guys who I had like a little camaraderie with. They were good. So it was they didn't cut me any slack though. It was everybody for themselves.
And were you still doing stand up while you were writing for him? So you just keep grinding.
Yeah. Because that was my favorite thing is I would submit monologue jokes. And if they didn't make it into the into the monologue. He didn't select them. I was like, you don't think this funny? Watch this, you know. And I'll go down to the Comedy Cellar and do the jokes and get laughs. I was like, I told you. And they're like, who was she saying I told you to? Like, you know, like it was like I had a fit on stage. Like I do a joke. Yeah, I told him. They're like, who's she talking to? So.
And how did your comedy style evolve? I mean, did you feel your growth through all this process? You know, what changed for you as a comic through this, you know, through these stages of growth?
Yeah, I think confidence.
Yeah.
Confidence and you just have to have that the desire to do it. Mm-hmm. You know, there's some comedians out here who are doing the same jokes they've been doing forever because it's safe. Mm. I like the, you know, the edginess. I like to take some risk.
Yeah.
So for me, you know, and my agent, you know, drives her nuts. But as soon as a special comes out, I'm like, well, I got to go make some more jokes. So she's like, well, you know, you can still tour with this act. I'm like, no, it's done. I'm done with it.
Really?
Yeah.
So after you do a special show like Legacy, then you won't go around and you're gonna start from scratch.
From scratch. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, see, I didn't realize that's how.
Well,
that
we
worked.
should use your jokes if you're not gonna use them.
Go ahead. Enjoy.
It's like these good jokes.
These good jokes
she just threw them
They're
out.
over.
It's just like, well, that was funny. It's not going to be funny again. It's like,
no, but it's not like singers. Singers, you know, same song. Musician, they do the same song over and over again. You still want to hear it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And at what point did you say, okay, I can act and I'm going to be in these movies or shows, TV shows?
I didn't know I could. I didn't know that. Actually, it started on the Chris Rock show. We had a crew for a day, and we were shooting some sketches. And then, you know, producer, being a good line producer, she's like, "Look, you have 3 more hours with the crew. You guys have anything we can shoot that's really quick, and maybe something in the office?" And the guys they wrote something, Video Mama, and it's like, "Wanda, you're gonna be Video Mama." I was like, I'm a writer. I'm not on camera. She's like, no, you can do it. You can be Video Mama. And it's a videotape that you can play and she watches your kids. So you just sit your kid in front of the TV. So, you know, so I'm in there and I'm like, hey, put that down. You know, where you going? You know, it's like the video.
And you're on the screen.
Yeah, Video Mama. Yeah. Yeah, I wish you would. You know, just...
See, that's so good.
So we shot that and it got a big laugh. So then they just started writing me into more bits.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance, a company committed to helping people move forward and live fully. You know, when you're thinking about buying a home, you're not just buying a house. You're buying a neighborhood, a commute, a school system, everything. And at the same time, you're thinking long-term. What's this going to look like in a few years from now? Is this somewhere you can grow into? Is it going to work for your day-to-day life? And I think that's the part that can feel really overwhelming. Trying to flash forward and imagine your life 1, 2, 10 years from now. Progressive understands the hurdles first-time homebuyers are facing, from housing affordability issues to finding the right tools and knowledge. Progressive's Open the House initiative is committed to breaking down these barriers and making first-time homebuying a little easier. Since 2024, Progressive has committed more than $16 million toward this goal. As one example, this year they're expanding their Up Payment program, now in year 2. By offering down payment assistance of up to $13,500 each to at least 200 eligible first-time homebuyers. Want to learn more about the Up Payment program and Progressive's commitment to first-time homebuyers? Visit progressive.com/openthehouse, where homebuyers can discover more about housing challenges and access resources and support to empower them in their housing journey.
So when did you get your first, were you doing that after Chris Rock? Were you just now writing and, the work just comes after that, did you find? Or were you still, plotting a career? Was your stand-up getting bigger? Were you going to bigger audiences?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Uh-huh.
My stand-up was getting bigger, my audience. Mm-hmm. I got a special, Comedy Central hour special. Yeah. So first it was a half hour, then I got an hour. Mm-hmm. Then it was a big tour after that. And then I because of the Chris Rock show, Eddie Murphy, fan of Chris, I got a part in Nutty Professor.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So
you were good in that too.
I was, Glodine or whatever. I forgot the hair. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So.
Yeah, I love this special legacy where, how are you feeling about the political climate? I mean,
It's awful. It's awful. I mean, it's but here's the thing that
you say you were stuck in the shittiest escape room ever.
That's what it feels like. We have been stuck in the shittiest escape room ever. I mean, all the clues have been redacted. You just can't get out. Can't get out. It's like, you need Harriet Tubman to get us out this bitch. This is awful.
It's like, free us.
Yeah, yeah. But here's the thing. Like, it's as bad as it is, right? Mm-hmm. I think with us, there's a sense of we're gonna get through it. We're gonna get through it, right?
Yeah.
But it's like, well, why are we out protesting? Because my wife, she's French, so she's like, in France, they just shut shit down. It's like they just shut it down. That's it. Yeah. And she's like, why aren't you doing that? I don't understand. Why isn't people reacting and responding like this? I'm like, because we go, this is really bad. Oh, man, ISIS, deporting people. Oh, wow, they're killing people. Oh, yeah, but my Netflix is on. It's like,
it's like squirrel.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's we have too much stuff, basically.
Yeah.
When you have a lot and it's, oh, what they doing over there? Oh, that's bad, but.
Well, as bad as you think something will be, it's like the speed at which we forget about it is pretty amazing to me, and we'll be outraged.
Yes.
Because in Legacy, I mean, people really connect with the jokes. I mean, you're talking about immigration, you're talking about racism. I mean, so when people laugh about this stuff, there's a connection. I mean, you're loosening a valve in people. So don't you get a sense that people, like you said, people care.
They do.
People are affected.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's the feedback that I get is they appreciate that I am speaking on these things because they need a release. Mm-hmm. They need that valve release. They do because you feel like you're not doing anything or you're just under a rock. Mm-hmm. So when you bring these issues up and bring them to light and allow them to laugh about it, then people really appreciate it. Yeah. And I hope it makes them think a little.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, but you're not just talking about, and I love the way you talk about the greed masked as benevolence.
Mm-hmm.
Right. It's like, if you really want to be green, why don't you take some money off of my room instead of asking me to save
reuse
some towels?
My towel. Right? And can you believe that now? Like at the hotel, no, we're not changing your sheets now.
Right.
What? What do you mean you're not changing my sheets?
That's the whole point, right?
That's the reason why I'm here.
At a hotel. It's like,
it's a hotel. You don't get up here and change my sheets. What's wrong with y'all? I sleep in my dirty sheets at home. No, I want fresh sheets here.
And towels.
And towels.
Say, I want a towel from the front part.
Yep. I use all the towels. Yep. Right boob, left boob, butt towel, everything. Use them all. Use all that stuff.
So you talk more about your family and legacy.
Yes.
And you mentioned your wife, Alex, being from France. How did you guys meet?
We met. I saw her on a ferry going over to Fire Island. Fire Island, people don't know, off of Long Island, New York. So yeah, something I just saw her in the peripheral, and it's like, wow, okay. And I like heard something that said, like, Wanda, that's what you need. And I was like,
were you dating at the time? Were you dating
now,
what you didn't
wait
need?
a minute now.
What?
I was maybe dating.
Okay.
But not in a relationship.
There you go.
Okay, there you go.
Okay, don't get off.
Yeah,
Just, were you out and about?
Well,
you know?
Yeah.
Because it was like you were looking at what you needed, which sounded like you were getting a lot of what you didn't need, perhaps.
Well, yeah. I know my friend was like, why are you meeting all these crazy women from?
Okay, see there? Tell us about the crazy women.
Ooh. Nope, because when you talk about things, you bring them, they pop up. I can walk out of here, somebody like, hey girl, and I'm like, oh, jeez. Oh, yeah. It's like Candyman. You can't, Nope. I'm not talking about
right.
Nope.
But you had enough bad experiences to be like, that looks good. That looks right.
Okay, I just I had a therapist and she passed away, but we only spoke on the phone.
Okay.
She didn't see people in face to face. So
she didn't see any people face to face?
I don't think so.
Oh wow.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Maybe a couple. I don't know. But so she had passed, and I heard her. That's what I heard. It said, Wanda, that's what you need. And other people who were seeing who had, said that she was popping up little signs and stuff. Yeah. So anyway, but I thought she meant that because Alex was sitting with this other woman, and they were playing with a kid. So I was like, oh, maybe that's what she's saying. Like, and long story short, the person I was dating,
so you were with somebody you were dating.
We had a little falling out.
Okay. On the boat after you were looking at Alex?
Once I made it to the island. We had a little falling out. It was like, get her off the island.
Okay.
Get her out of here.
She needed to go.
She had to go. She had to go. So I was like, call my friend. Yeah, get her out of here. So,
Lord.
So then I'm walking with my friend, and she's like, Wanda, where you meeting these crazy people from? Like, look, what do you say when you meet somebody? I'm like, hey, how you doing? She's like, well, and if I say, okay, so how's your date going? And I started telling her what I did that day. She's like, why? No, I don't like, wants to hear what you did. Just say, you're beautiful and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, it's corny. So she's like, and don't talk about your dog. Nobody cares about your dog. So
that was your big rap line?
Yeah. So I'm walking with my friend, and we bump into a friend that she knows. And it's like, hey, Wanda, this is so-and-so. Wanda, this is a friend, Mary. And she's like, how you doing, Wanda? I was like, well, I got up at 8. I had some oatmeal, and here's my dog, And she's looking at me like, what? And I was like, and I'm remodeling my kitchen. And she's like, okay. She said, well, you should talk to my friend, Alex. She's into natural stone and all that. Boom. She was on the ferry. So we started talking.
Oh, wow.
And from there, that was it.
And it was
that was it.
At first sight?
That was it.
Nice. And y'all got married and had kids.
Yes.
Was that always in your dance card?
Absolutely not. No, ma'am.
Was Alex like, look, This is, you get me?
Yep.
This is, okay. She's like, put down the gauntlet.
Look, She's like, I want kids. I'm going to have kids. And I was like, okay. And I asked, I said, look, can we, like, can you hold off? Like, give me at least like a year. And let's try to figure out. No, I didn't ask for a year. I said, can we hold off just give me like 3-6 months and let's see where this is going first.
That seems reasonable.
If this is, where I think it's going, then I'll probably get there. I said, and she's like, okay. So she did.
Mm-hmm. And how long did you guys date before you had kids?
Jeez, maybe, I guess maybe a year.
Okay.
Let me see. Yeah. Met September. Mm-hmm. Yep. About a year and a half, I think.
So your world, you just went from 0 to everybody's here. Now, how did your dog react?
2 years. It was 2 years. It was 6 years.
How did your dog react? That's who you talk about that.
Yeah.
What's your dog's name?
His name was Riley.
His name was Riley. Poor Riley.
That guy. Yeah. Riley, when we brought the kids home, Riley really looked up at me, and it was like he said, you effed up. He was like, you effed up.
He's like, we had it so
good.
He's
like, why you do this? This is gonna suck. You know that, right? I don't know. You really messed up. You messed up.
So what was the adjustment period? So, you meet the right person, the love of your life, you date for a little bit, you decide this is it. Now you're married with kids.
Mm-hmm.
Did it feel like your head was about to spin off the changes in your life that happened? And how did you manage the adjustment?
It felt right. It was a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lot, but it just felt like, okay, no, this is how it's supposed to be. I felt like I was in my place.
Yeah.
And I felt like blessed, really blessed. Like, man, I got kids now, because I never thought that I would be a mom, and now, I'm a whole ass mama now.
Whole ass mom.
Yeah,
man.
Discipline and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Huh? How old are they now?
They just turned 17.
17. Oh, so.
Oh, you in it?
I'm in it.
You were really in it.
Yes.
Yeah. Who's the disciplinarian? You or Alex?
I would say more on my part,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Alex is strong. She's strong with them too. But when they don't listen, will you tell them? Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. And then I get mad. Like, why do I have to tell y'all? Well, just listen to her. Mm-hmm. Just listen to her. Why you don't want to do this, do you?
Yeah, I like that.
You don't like me, right? Okay, so
that's me
and
our
not have
household.
This conversation. Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
You make them feel like you're doing them a favor,
right? That's yeah.
I'm gonna hook you up on how to not get in trouble,
right.
Or you're in trouble with me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and you don't want to be in trouble with me.
It's just a great psychological advantage.
Yeah. It's like your life is over.
Yes.
You're in trouble with me.
Yeah. Did you go through the spanking, no spanking thing? Oh, right. Yeah. Could you talk about that in Legacy? Right?
Yeah. We said no spanking, but then
somebody needed to get popped.
Lucas had to he needed it. Sometimes you need more than words.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they're all different.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I always thought like kids should know what a spanking is. Because you can't threaten something that they don't know, right? Yeah. So, and I had 2 girls, and girls are pretty bright,
Right.
One little pop, and it's just oh, that wasn't pleasant. It wasn't pleasant for me. Right. It was true. It hurt me as much as it hurt them. Mm-hmm. But it was like, now it was just a good threat. Then it became just a good threat.
Right.
Don't make me.
Right.
And it's like, and they were like, yeah, probably. That's not necessary. But I do believe that every now and then.
Did you get a spanking ever?
Oh, yeah. I didn't get many. Neither of us got many.
Right? But I don't remember you getting.
Yeah, the belt, the jump rope.
Jump rope.
Mom had a plastic jump rope.
You know the plastic jump rope?
Yeah.
With the handles?
Uh-huh.
She gave us that a couple times. But I don't remember. I remember getting it.
Yeah, I remember you getting it too.
Yeah.
I was usually cheering her on from the back, running after him. But I remember the last spanking you got.
I ever got.
And this was our household. My mother loved to laugh, and she had a great sense of humor, and we could make her laugh.
Uh-huh.
And Craig had done something. You probably did something to me, right? And I was like, Mom! And she's like, boy, I told you. And she grabbed the belt. And this time he ran,
She chased me around the house.
And she's running behind him, and I'm behind her. I'm like, get him. And he's hopping over furniture.
And our house is
a little bitty
as
house.
big as this room.
I mean, I'm sure she's thinking, boy, if you don't stop running, And then he hopped over a chair and got on the couch and grabbed my stuffed Snoopy and put it in front of him. He's like, Mom, don't hit me. And she just looked at him and started cracking up, because it was ridiculous,
Yes.
It's like, here I am chasing this little boy around.
And I was probably big by then because I was older.
Right.
And she just took the jump rope and just dropped it. And that was it. That was the last
and I was like,
potential spanking.
What? No justice? Is this what we're doing in this household? And that was the last.
That was the last
spanking
one
in our household. So
Yeah, you just have to, like you say, it's just the threat of it.
Yeah.
They know.
Yeah.
I remember I forgot I know my mom dropped me off at my grandmother's. That's where I was catching the bus, and I left my books in the car. So I was like, I can't go to school. I don't have any books. The teacher's going to be yelling at me, and the kids are going to make fun of me. My grandma said, okay, you can stay home. And she said, well, we got to tell your mom, that you didn't go to school. So now I'm stressed over that,
Yeah.
I'm stressed over that. So I came and gave my grandmother the belt. I said, would you just beat me and tell it?
Tell it's done.
It's been done. It's finished.
I can't live like this all day.
Yeah. I was like, just do it.
Let me get the spanking and then I can enjoy my day off.
Exactly. And she laughed so hard. She couldn't do it. And she told my mother, don't you beat that girl. She beat herself up enough today.
Right. I swear to God, Wanda, because my team watched Legacy too.
Okay.
And this one, Crystal, on the gas pass, she's like, ma'am, tell me that doesn't happen. I mean, literally, we're on the plane. I'm like, explain to her, no, it does.
It does.
It's coming. Can you talk about what you're doing?
Oh, yeah. I hit my 60s, and I don't know where all this gas comes from, but it's just a lot of gas. And you really have to focus on not passing gas in public, because if you relax, it's gonna happen. It just happens. And I was talking to one of my good friends, and she's a CEO, big job, and she's like, girl, I was in a meeting and I stood up and it just and they all heard it. I was like, oh my God. I said, what did you do? She said, I just said, meeting's adjourned.
See, because when you're in your 60s, you run the meeting, right? By that time, you can pass gas in the meeting that you run in.
Right. I told her, I said, that's how you have to end all your meetings now, Let them know that's just how it's going to go.
And how's Esther Roll doing?
Oh, Esther.
You're looking pretty good.
Well,
Esther looks like she's living somewhere else.
No, Esther's here. I lift this top up. Esther is there. She is there. Actually, when I was editing Legacy, I was like, oh boy. And my producer partner, she was like, you see Esther, don't you? I was like, yeah. Look at Esther. Esther's just living her best life. Esther's just all out. She's like, you could have worn like a body shaper on this. I was like, nah, I can't. I can't.
How can you do what you're doing with all that?
I was like, I'm rolling around on the stage and all. I was like, I had to crack the rib if I had worn a body shaper. But so I just let Esther out.
You let her live.
I let her live. Yeah, when I hit my 40s, Esther popped up, that fat roll. That fat roll powder. I was like, what is this? And I was doing crunches and all.
She was determined.
Esther was determined. Esther was climbing out of Spanx. I was on this Tonight Show. Jay Leno on this Tonight Show. And I just heard, I was like, what is going on? Esther was just working her way out this Spanx. Then just laid out. Hey, Jay. I was like, no, Esther. So I named her Esther
I
Roll.
love late night.
I love late night. Cheesecake, So I pull up to Costco. Esther's like, yippee! Oh boy. It's like Disneyland for her. She loves Costco. Esther loves Costco. Oh boy. There's so many of them. She loves Costco.
They're everywhere.
And now I say Esther's, been a little depressed. Because whenever those Ozempic commercials come on, I hear her I'm like, Esther, what's wrong? She's like, all my friends are gone. I was like, Esther, yeah. Told her I wouldn't do that to her.
Oh my goodness, you wouldn't do that.
I wouldn't do it. I
said,
I'm not going to do it to you. Don't worry about it.
Well, but you do look great, Wanda. You really look great. So you got to be doing something besides taking Esther to Costco.
I'm boxing now. I love the box. Yeah, I love the box. Yeah, that's a lot of my training.
How often are you in the
gym? When I mean, if I'm not working, if I'm home, I try to at least 5 times 5 days a week.
Oh man.
Yeah. I have a great trainer, Cameron, and he'll hold the mitts. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I hit the mitts, and we'll do some strength training. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I fell in love with it because I did a movie, a drama, and it's boxing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I had to learn how to hold mitts.
Right.
And then I just stayed with it. And
when did you film This is Undercut?
Undercard.
Undercard. I'm sorry, Undercard.
We filmed this in Puerto Rico 2 years ago.
It was 2 years.
Yeah, I think so. I think it was 2 years ago.
Was that your first dramatic role?
First dramatic role.
Wow.
Yeah. And man, it was hot in Puerto Rico. Mm-hmm. That was a different kind of heat.
Yeah.
Different kind of heat. But it was, I love shooting it, love the cast, the director, Tamika, everybody. It was just a great experience. So I'm excited that that's finally going to be out where people are going to get to see it.
Yeah. Is it going to start streaming?
It'll be available for rent or to buy May 18th.
Oh,
yeah,
great,
on Apple or Prime.
It's a beautiful story. You want to just talk a bit about it?
Sure.
Undercard.
Undercard is I play a former boxer who's now a trainer, struggling with addiction. Mm-hmm. She's raising her sister's child. Her sister passed away, and she also is trying to reunite with her older son, who's a boxer, and she had to give him up when he was very young because of her addictions. And so it's just this woman trying to, win in the ring and now, win in life and try to reunite with her family. And it's really, it's a family story, but it's just set in the world of boxing.
Mm-hmm. I would have never known that was your exposure to boxing, that film. You didn't box before then.
Right.
You look like a former champ.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah. Had your guns out and everything. Shoot. But it's a really beautiful movie, and I watched it, and I didn't fall asleep.
Oh, why? Thank you.
I stayed up.
Oh, why? Thank you.
Did. Yeah, yeah. Which is saying something. Yeah. No, but it's a really beautiful, beautiful film.
Is there anything at this point that you haven't done that you wish you could do?
Actually, I did tell my publicist that I wanted to do this.
You really?
I did.
We were on your bucket
I
list?
rarely ask her for things.
Oh my
Really?
God!
But I was like, I want to do,
Oh, because you
IMO,
felt
that's
bad
it.
about talking about me.
That's the one thing I did ask for.
That's
man.
wonderful.
Well,
Yeah.
that makes
Thank
us
you.
feel good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, you have definitely worked out this special.
Thank you.
It
It's
is
really
it
good.
is everything. It
Really
is
good.
laugh out loud. And not too dirty. You're not cursing that much.
No.
So you can have the older kids watch it. But,
Right.
I just thank you for, all that you do. But we do have our listener question.
Yes.
Because we do give advice here at
Of course.
IMO. We try to give back
We do.
to the people who are listening. And
We do.
now they got Wanda. They're going to hear from Wanda.
And this is Joanna.
My husband and I are thinking about buying a home, and we're trying to decide what matters most as we start a family. We have a 3- and 5-year-old. We love the idea of being in a neighborhood with a strong sense of community. It reminds me of my own childhood where neighbors looked out for each other and it felt safe for kids to grow up. At the same time, we know that school quality is really important, and we're weighing whether it makes more sense to prioritize that from the start, even if it means living somewhere we feel less connected to. My husband feels like we should choose a neighborhood we love and figure out the logistics later, whether that's commuting or finding other options. But I personally worry that the day-to-day reality of that would become exhausting, especially if more of the responsibility falls on me. My question is, how do you decide between a place that feels like home right away and one that might offer better long-term opportunities for your kids? As a fellow Chicagoan, I know the commute you had to Whitney Young. My own mother moved us to the suburbs so a decent high school would be closer to our home. Appreciate your advice.
If it's job related, then you sort of have to do what you got to do.
Right.
And that's not new. I mean, I think parents, families throughout, the history, you go where, mom and dad can earn a living.
Mm-hmm.
And that's certainly true if you're a
Absolutely.
military
Right.
kid, and you remember how resilient kids can be. So sometimes you just don't have a choice. But I've been talking more about, because what we do lose in that job move is that a lot of families, they don't have support, right? So you move for a job. Now it's you and your partner and the kids, but you don't live in that extended family unit, which is how we grew up, I mean, we grew up on the south side of Chicago where everybody lived within like a 5-mile radius. I mean, literally, uncles, aunties, all of our grandparents. You could walk around the corner. You could get in a car, drive 5 minutes and be at another family's house, which meant that there was always some support, especially when it came to childcare, right? So now if you got some aunt, a cousin, a grandparent, somebody who can step in, and help out. So I think that's a long way of saying, if you have a choice, factor in community and support. And I don't know if I care as much about the house or the school if it's not a horrible school district. I mean, if it's not dangerous, which is in some instances, I went across town because the high school right by me was a little, it was a little dangerous at the time I was going there, right? So to me, it was worth going across town to a school that was a college prep school. But we still lived in our neighborhood, We still lived around the corner from grandparents and uncles and aunts. And that meant something,
Yeah. I agree with that. But it didn't seem like they have like extended family.
Right.
Yeah, it didn't even come up.
It didn't even come up.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I agree that if you find a community where you feel comfortable and you can build those relationships.
Yeah.
Like we were very lucky where Alex was living in this community when I met her. So, there was the cop next door and then, started meeting this group of friends and there's a little, she has this little French contingency there. So we were surrounded by people who became family for us.
Yeah.
So as the kids get older, their kids were getting older, and we would, look out for each other. So that is important. And a good school district, you want that because especially you don't want to have to pay for school if you're not happy with the public school. But for me, I need to be close to an airport.
Just
those
for
are the
your
things
business.
I have to consider also. How quickly can I get in and out?
Yeah.
And I will say, don't underestimate the resilience of your kids.
Ooh.
Because my career, after I left corporate America and started coaching, coaches move all the time, and we moved a lot. And the first move was really hard on my two older kids because they were the oldest was about to go into high school, and he wanted to go to Whitney Young where she went. And we moved to Providence, and it was hard on him and hard on our daughter. But then once we moved the first time, it made it easier to move the next time, and then the next time, and it became easier. And what we stayed focused on was trying to move somewhere where we could build a community, but we were our community. We wanted to make sure we knew we would all be together in this, and we had the ability to make a community wherever we went. So I would say to Joanna, don't underestimate the resiliency. I know you're not talking about moving around a lot, but your kids will be okay as long as they're safe.
Yeah.
They'll be okay. They'll be able to bounce back quicker than we can.
And just make sure you check that Predator website too.
Right.
I'm just gonna throw that out there.
That's a good point. It's a good point, Wanda. Forget
Minor
the school
details.
district.
I'm
Minor
just saying.
details.
Just
Make
saying.
sure there are no predators. Well, thank you. Hopefully that was Lisa.
Joanna.
I'm sorry.
Joanna.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Joanna,
That's all right.
girl. Hope
That
that
also
helped you out.
happens when you get older, Crystal.
Right. There's gas, and then there's general forgetting of
just
everything.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes.
Wanda.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for this. Thank you for putting us
Appreciate
on
it.
your dance card.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Love
I'm
you.
done now.
We are huge fans.
We are
over.
big fans.
Yeah,
We are
yeah.
big fans.
Well,
This
the
is really
legacy
neat.
is going to be well received. People will love it. And by the time this comes out, hopefully everybody's seeing it and commenting about it and all that. And then watch Undercard.
Yes.
It's really a beautiful film.
Thank you.
Coming out on somewhere where things stream. Or anywhere where you stream. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much.
Thank you both.
Thanks again to our friends at Progressive Insurance for sponsoring this episode. For more information, visit progressive.com/openthehouse.